Welcome to day 15 of the Course in Mastery. Today is the start of our third week, and time is going fast. I hope you're applying the principles you've learned so far. In week 1, we focused on strategies and the importance of personal philosophy and attitude. In week 2, we focused on skills for effective communication. Now it's time for health and balance. Today, Tom Wood is going to cover the importance of nutrition, and then we'll hear Darren Hardy's philosophy of what has to be the simplest diet on the planet. Here's Tom.
Thanks, Coral. And yes, this week is about health and balance. And today is about nutrition. I believe that health, balance, nutrition, this week will be the most important week of all 4. Why? Well, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. You can't communicate, you can't negotiate, you can't make the sale, you can't lead a team if you're not healthy. Now, I am admittedly not an expert on nutrition. I also know that many MDs are not experts on nutrition, that it's a complicated process, the digestive system. The one thing I know is that results speak for themselves. Today's expert has produced extraordinary results. I will give you one piece of advice. It's your body. Listen to your body, respect your body, no matter what nutritional decision you make, listen to yourself and make that decision for your own body. Here's Coral, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Tom. Darren Hardy has been studying and practicing nutrition since he was a teenager. But better yet, he has applied the principles that he's going to suggest in this next clip and has met with incredible results. Today, he gives his no-nonsense, common-sense approach to healthy weight management. He focuses on eating whole foods and paying attention to the way your body responds to what you eat. Here's Darren.
Diet and nutrition has become one of the most convoluted and complex topics within our recent pop culture. In fact, it's become a multi-billion-dollar industry with dozens of books with experts talking about their quick fix to people's prolonged neglect, each with their version of their snake oil or their secret formula to optimum health and wellness and fitness in a nanosecond. What I find hilarious is that each of these experts and these proven and time-tested formulas seem to conflict with each other. You have all these different formulas, the Atkins diet, the Zone diet, the Sugar Busters diet, the Cabbage diet. You got Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, you got Fen-Phen, you got ephedrine. You've got all these different formulas that say that this is the answer, yet they seem to conflict very directly with each other's perfect and proven and time-tested track record. So, who do you trust? Well, for me, it's my common sense. So here's the common sense to diet and nutrition. As a matter of fact, it's so far forgotten, it seems like it's a secret. So here's the secret to all diet and nutrition. It's called the law of input and output. It's that simple. So if you want to lose weight, what do you got to do? You need to output more than you input. What happens if you input more than you output? Meaning you eat more calories or you eat more fat than you output. You gain weight. It's really not rocket science. If you want to stop starving yourself and counting every rice calorie that you intake, then strap on your gym shoes and pump up your heart rate. If you work out like a savage, well then you could pretty much eat whatever it is that you want. If you're allergic to sweating, then you better count every corn kernel. That's it. It's a simple formula. If you input, you got to output, or you're going to stockpile in all the wrong places. I hear people saying all the time, I have a slower metabolism, or I gain weight faster and easier, I have big bones. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. If that's true for you, then that just means you have to output a little bit more than what would be considered normal. So find what your equilibrium is, how much you can input versus having to output in order to find your equilibrium of the health and wellness that you want for you and for your body. There are some people who seem to be able to eat just whatever they want and never seem to gain weight. Well, for them, they have to output less than the input. That's just the good fortune of how the cards were dealt for them. But there's a warning to those types of people. There is such a thing called being fat on the inside, even though you are thin and skinny on the outside. No one is excused from moving their body, getting their heart rate up, and exercising in order to have optimum health. The key is to find your equilibrium. If you want to shed some pounds, limit the intake, boost the output, and then find your equilibrium, and then maintain that through some consistency. And we'll get to talking about that in another segment. The easiest way to maintain perfect health is to challenge your body a few times a week and just be smart about what it is that you put into your face. So let's talk about the common sense for food selection. Again, we're going to go down to the very basic to gain our wisdom. We live in a mass merchandised, highly commercial, overly marketed society. Most everything you'll find in a grocery store has very little actual nutritional value once you stuff it full of preservatives, additives, and process it for long-haul national and international distribution. If you read the ingredient list and you can't pronounce any of the words on it, don't eat it. If it looks like it was made in a lab, don't eat it. To sum up all foods into one guiding principle, here's what I use. If nature made it, it's okay to eat, no matter what Atkins says. If man made it, especially one in a lab coat, better be careful. You don't see any pasta trees or Twinkie bushes now, do you? Forget all the hysteria around this food is good, except for when mixed with this food at this time of the day. Baked potatoes are in, they're out. It's a crack up. Here are a few other common sense tips. Avoid these 3 things and the pounds will shed off. Number 1 is avoid white flour products, especially the white bleached products. Things like breads and pastas and muffins and cakes and cookies and pancakes and bagels and so forth. Those things just become handles and saddlebags and junk in your trunk. Next is refined sugars. And this is in almost everything, especially everything you'll find at the grocery store. But the killers are things like fruit juices. Everybody thinks that they're great, loaded with sugar. Sodas, death. I could do a whole segment just on why sodas is rotten the internal organs of our entire human population, but I won't go there. Yogurts, a lot of these products that you will find on the shelf are loaded with sugar. Try to stay away from the refined sugar products. Lastly is processed foods. These are anything that have been tampered with man in order to be commercially viable and packaged for mass distribution. They can wreak havoc on the body. They are chock full of empty calories and ingredients that will alter your body's natural biochemistry. This includes all the no carb, no sugar, reduced fat products, everything that they did to take out those ingredients, they supplanted with synthetically derived ingredients in order to replace those, in order to appeal to the latest health kick that's going on right now. Stay away from it. If it's not natural and it has been reduced in some manner or altered in some manner, there's a good chance that whatever it is they're replacing with it, especially stuff like that NutraSweet or that sucralose or all that synthetic sugar product, horrible. Another topic that I could do, it's been for an hour or two, about how that's wreaking havoc on our internal system and might be the reasons why we're finding these strange diseases that seem to be evolving within our society. But not for now. Just stay away from it. If it's been altered from its natural state, if it's been packaged so that it appeals to the, I want to lose weight in a nanosecond diet, and so it needs to be low carb, or all the sugars has been reduced, or the fat's been taken out, be very careful. You'll be much better with sticking to whole butter, whole products that are from its natural state and being smart about how much you intake versus how much you are using in expelling in your output. Back to the input and output. But processed foods, be very careful. And lastly, listen to your grandmother. Everything in moderation. It was sage advice. Don't get wacky about anything. Anything is okay in moderation. But in moderation, you can even exercise yourself into oblivion. Heck, you can even drink too much water. What happens? You drowned. So everything in moderation. In summary, use your common sense. Listen to your body. Balance your input with your output. Eat what's natural. And listen to your grandma. With all of that, you have all that you need to know in order to have perfect weight management and health and nutrition.
Now you may be thinking that you can't implement all of these ideas. After all, what's left to eat? But I encourage you to incorporate it into your regular daily routine. Just start somewhere. Getting started is the hardest part, and once you get started, momentum builds from there. Tomorrow, Darren will share with you the secret to getting the results you want from exercise. We'll see you tomorrow.